So I opened up the project we just created in WebStorm, which is the IDE I'm using. As mentioned earlier in the course, feel free to use any IDE or editor you want to use. And then we have this very basic, simple, folder structure here. The most important folder for us will be the source folder. This is where we write our source code, our Vue.js code. And as you can see, we already got a couple of files here. I will come back to these files in a second. First, I want to quickly guide you through the other files. Well, Babel here, this Babel config file, basically sets up Babel, which is a transpiler allowing us to write ES6 code, so this next version of JavaScript, today. And then this transpiler will transpile it to ES5 code so that we're able to run it in any browser and not just in the latest browsers which already support ES6 features. That's very handy because we want to use ES6 syntax. It gives us some shortcuts and some nice features we definitely want to enjoy and use. Well, git ignore is just for the Git version control system. The index.html file is the file which actually gets served. So this is what we're viewing here in the end. But of course, since this is a Vue.js application, this file is edited by Vue.js. It's basically the HTML section we were editing in JS Fiddle in the other videos. And therefore it looks very well related to these videos, just that we have a full HTML file here with a head too. But then in the body we got our div with the ID app, and then we get this script import here, which clearly imports our built Vue.js application. Now I'm saying built because unlike in JS Fiddle, we're not writing our Vue.js code and it gets executed instantly. Instead here, we're using Webpack to build our files. Now what needs to be built? Now for example, if we use ES6 syntax, that needs to be transpiled to ES5. So Webpack will do that. It will also do a couple of other things. I'll come back to this. And will give us an output which lives in the dist folder and then in a bundled build.js file. Bundled also means that we're able to split up our Vue.js over multiple files, our Vue.js code over multiple files, and it will be bundled into one file in the end. This makes for a greater development experience while serving one file in the end too. Now, you won't see the dist folder here because in development mode, all of this is created in memory, in the memory of your machine. So to see this dist folder, we will have to build it for production, and I will come back to this. So this is our index.html file. The package.json file here manages all the dependencies. As you can see, that's Vue.js for production, and then for development, it's the Webpack server, then some Babel related packages to be able to write ES6 code, and some other transpilers and loaders. Especially the Vue loader here is important, since this allows us to write, to use these single file templates, to which I'll come back in a second. Well, then we get our Webpack config file, which is responsible for building everything and, well, transpiling our code, setting up our build process, and knows how to handle different files. For example, data.vue file, which we will talk about in a second, should be loaded with the Vue loader. So that's the general setup. Let's now dive into our source folder and understand what this .vue file here is.